Okay, so here we are going to do the elastic and the size tag for this pair of leggings. I have my size 14 size tag here, and we're just going to keep that handy. I have my sewing machine threaded. There is black thread in the bobbin because that's all that's going to show on this. I always just leave white or off-white in the top of the machine. So that seems, then you don't have to rethread the whole machine. You can just change out whatever thread color you need for the leggings in the bobbin, and it's much easier. One of the things I failed to mention when we cut out the leggings was the last thing you want to do at the top of the leggings, when you have it laid out and you're cutting it, you're going to make that clip right in the middle. And I hope you can see this on the camera. You have that clip, and that is just the halfway point between the seams. And then you also have a clip that just kind of denotes what the back side of the leggings are, because that's where you want to start and stop with your elastic. Now, the elastic that I'm sending you, it's a braided elastic. Normally it's a little stiffer. This spool it's a little bit softer stretch than what I normally like. So for this size of leggings, I would normally cut the elastic. If it were stiffer, I would cut it 2 inches smaller than the waist measurement, which on this young lady is 26 inches. But because this has a little more stretch to it, I'm going to cut this 3 inches smaller. So my husband glued this really nice. This is just so handy. One of those little tips and tricks that just makes life easier. So I'm going to cut this 23 inches. And then I am going to, with a pen, I'm going to mark the quarters. I just make a little mark. Now this is black fabric, so you're never going to see these pen marks. If you're doing a lighter color of leggings, like a pink or some of the lighter colors, you might see these marks through the fabric. So I generally, with a lighter color of fabric, I will just make a tiny little mark. On something like this, I don't really worry about it too much. So again, we're going to start at the back seam of the leggings, and I set my machine to a 4 width zigzag and a 4 length. You can do whatever you want because it totally makes no difference at all. I'm going to push this seam allowance away from me to start out with, and I'm just going to lay the elastic kind of right on that seam, and I have just about 1/8 of an inch. And this is just so when we fold the elastic over, so you won't see the white elastic on there. So you're going to look for that clip, and that's where your little mark is going to go. You're going to stretch that fabric a little bit. And you're just going to go around. This next seam allowance, you're going to have it pointed towards you. This is that U-shaped seam. So if you have the first one pointed away from you and the next one pointed toward you, it will be, the seam won't be twisted because it's all the same seam allowance. I just butt those edges right up together. I don't worry about it too much until I get right there. And I'm going to just clip my threads here just to get them out of the way. Then when I get pretty close, I'm going to grab my size tag. I'm going to turn it face down. and I'm going to just center it right over that seam. And you just want to have it, you can see on here where the number is. You want to make sure that that's pointing out below, and you want to make sure that when your needle comes back over on this direction for the zigzag, that it catches the edge of the size tag in there. So I just take a couple stitches and just go past, just to hold it on there, because it's the hemming stitch that's going to sew it firmly down. So you can see there, and you have your nice even zigzag stitch just holding that down.